Yes! I'm sorry, but like every injury to both sides just makes me a little happy. 안녕하세요 여러분, 지름은 AJ요. My name is AJ and welcome back to Shadow Spinner Reacts, where we are continuing with episode 15 of Marry My Husband. We are coming up on the end game here. There's just so much. That we have to verify that the admittedly trash parents are still alive, which we're pretty sure they are, but we can't guarantee anything. We have to find out exactly how much onto our side assistant is, who, like, once again, curious about his backstory. He seemed to flip pretty easily. I'd like to know what his deal is. Obviously, this is the first time he's ever been asked to kill anybody. Don't know if he went through with it. We also need to find out exactly what's going to go on with Minyoung's husband. We pretty much already know what's going to be going on with Minwon and Sumin over here. And we've got, I'm leaving the obvious thing for last. Yes, I haven't forgotten how the last episode ended. I think this is the moment, though, where we get rid of Minwon. I think that's the first arrest. First arrest is Minwon. Death needs to go to Sumin. We can also pass off a jail sentence onto Yura. I'm okay if we swap Yura and Sumin around. Like, no, the world's not gonna miss Yura. Sorry, Boa. I'm sorry. I'm talking about your character, not about you. The world loves you. Same goes to the other actors that play the bad guys, by the way. I'm strictly talking about your characters. I have nothing against the actors. Y'all are doing a great job, making me very angry. Yeah, and then, of course, we know that she's not dead. There's 2 more episodes left. But hopefully this will count as Minwon's assault on her. We seem to be chopping things up quite substantially, but if Minwon gets arrested here, then he can't kill Sumin at Yura's place. Let's just go ahead and get into it. That is not a pleasant feeling. If you have not felt that feeling, it is a very decidedly unpleasant feeling. It hurts here, it hurts here, and you start fading in and out because you're not having the blood go to your brain. It is not pleasant. If she just blacked out, she's probably fine, because blackout happens substantially before brain death. Unless they've actually crushed your windpipe, in which case you're not getting any more oxygen in, and that's the dangerous part. But I don't think he's strong enough to just crush her windpipe. Stop staring him down! Go take care of Jiwon!
집으로 찾아와도 절대 문 열어주지 말고 바로 실장님한테 전화할게요.
Okay, we're setting ground rules for safety. He has to wait for this to all be taken care of before he can follow up on any personal feelings. And he does need her to accept the help.
지금 바로 갈게.
아니야. 이쪽 말고 병원으로 가주세요.
He's like, I'm in the police station. I need you to be watching her at the hospital.
폭행 치상에 갑질 재벌 3세로 기사 짝 뿌릴 거니까.
There's cameras in there. This third-generation guy assaulted me. Yes, while you were in the immediate process of strangling a woman to death.
널 망친 건 나는 강지원이 아니야. 그 쓰레기 같은 인성이지.
Thank you.
불리할 때 평등 찾고 싶고 유리할 땐 힘들어하는 게 좋지.
That was good. I liked that.
가자.
You want whenever you're at a disadvantage, then you want to be equal. But whenever you're in an advantage, you have no problem like using strength.
네 인생이 더 이상 갈 데가 없다고 생각해?
It's like he has no recognition of the fact that like hitting somebody to defend somebody else is not even remotely the same thing as just trying to choke somebody to death because you're mad. And it's like, does he honestly think the public is gonna side with him? Oh, she's trying not to have a panic attack over here. Yeah, no, help her. She needs to calm down, and she needs to feel safe, and she needs to not be alone, and she also needs to not be in a hospital if she doesn't have to be.
이거 뭐예요?
I love how, like, she's got strangle marks on her neck, and she's worried about this tiny little cut on his lip, though. It shouldn't feel sweet, but it does feel sweet. Yes, cuddle. Cuddle, cuddle, cuddle. Cuddles make everything better. It's a fact. I know I'm gonna have to cut out this whole section from the YouTube because the music is gonna flag every copyright that there is, but that was cute. She came with blackmail. This is where you say I have multiple copies in multiple places. This is like the battle of the psychos right now. Yura's like, I've never met somebody as psycho as I am. I refuse to be anything but the Queen Psycho. She actually left her phone there, though. Interesting play. Because if she feels threatened, she might just release that to protect herself by putting Boa in jail. I kept on saying Boa, it's Yura. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Boa. I will stop interchanging your name and your character's name. Yes! Yes! Punch him in the face! He's like... Don't hit him! He's on our side now! But we're progressing on this road. But, now that the assistant has swapped over to our side, I am perfectly willing to defend him. I just want him to be, like, thoroughly on our side. He did seem pretty disgusted by Yura. Hi, honey! Hello. Everything's going at once. Everything's going at once. Oh, we can bury him. Okay, wait, so... Going back to what she said, she's gonna ask for a divorce, because this is the moment that is going to trigger the him killing Sumin instead of him killing Jiwon. Okay. You're not gonna work anymore. You literally tried to murder one of your coworkers at the office. Yes! Bury him! Bury him! Bury him! Bury him! We're gonna bury him. We're gonna bury him. Everything's gonna be better in the world once we bury him. You know, normally I'd be like, we need to put all of the loan sharks in jail because what they're doing is illegal and like the assaults. And they tend to take advantage of people who have nowhere else to turn. But you know, I'm okay with them beating him up. Like that's acceptable to me. She got $80,000 just sitting in a bank account. So I wish I had $80,000 sitting in a bank account somewhere. If I had $80,000 sitting in a bank account, I know exactly what I would do with it. Do you know how many months of mortgage that would pay? Why do you keep cash though? Like, don't be keeping cash around. That's just, cash can be lost. Cash can be stolen. Cash can be burned. Cash can be destroyed. Don't keep cash around. Good. I mean, don't assault the doctor because the doctor doesn't deserve to be assaulted, but this actually could count as assault. Good. Have all of your acts do it here where the security cameras are running. You're about to have two witnesses hear him admit it, though. Yes! 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 Yes, 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 yes!
지원 씨는 괜찮아요?
You're always worrying about other people. You're allowed to worry about yourself. Let's be honest, Mr. Lee. This is one of the reasons why you like her. It's okay. Don't drink anything. Don't drink anything. If you order anything from the bar right now, you get it in a closed can. Like, not even a closed bottle, a closed can. Closed bottles you can kind of mess with a little bit still, because you can make them look like they're closed when they weren't. Pop can. You order nothing but pop. It's weird that you called him out, though. Are you trying to... Is she thinking that she's gonna try to play him now? Jiwon has a new man. I have to get this one instead now.
강지원 죽이려고 했죠.
She was not expecting that to come out of your mouth. Like, she's not mentally prepared for that. She was doing her pity play trying to get you to... I don't know. Is this, like, has... Guys out there, this is a question for the guys. Would this type of pity play, like, does it actually trigger the need to protect some damsel in distress, like, something? I've never understood, like... Yeah, are you seeing each other again? Yes. Like, if that's what she's going, she's like trying to alwaay be a damsel in distress that needs to be saved. I don't understand how she thinks that can, like, get any guy to fall for her. Is that actually a thing that, like... It's like she's always trying to trigger protective instincts in the people around her, but that's all she's got going for her is a pretty face and acting pitiful. That's it. Oh, I love how he's pushing her to not want to divorce.
부장님이 얻는 건 뭐냐는 거예요?
What do you gain? She's not stupid. She knows that he's not just saying this to give her advice. What do you gain from her making this decision? again you
강지원이
died.
돌아왔으면 해서.
And the lip quiver. That was such a perfect like, oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. Sung Ha-yoon. I need to see her name in Hangul to pronounce it correctly. Ha-yoon is doing a phenomenal job with the facial acting there. That lip twitch when he said he liked Jiwon was so perfect.
그건 본인이 믿을 수 없는 사람이라서 그래.
You don't trust anyone because you're not trustworthy? I love this because it's so true. People, as I've mentioned this in previous episode, people project. They tend to assume that other people will behave the way that they behave, which is why you're like, why do good people get taken advantage of so often? It's because people who are genuinely trustworthy and tend to see the best in other people and behave well, they expect other people to act that way, so it's easy to take advantage of them. People who are honorless tend to be more cagey because they expect everybody else to behave with as little honor as they do. There's the red shoes. Why would he decide to die, though? That's very interesting. Like, I know... This is like the first time he's thought of other people ever in this whole series. Okay, because bad people get away with things initially. Masks help people get away with things initially. But people will eventually figure out what kind of person you are. Whether it's them resolving misunderstandings about you and realizing that you're a better person than they thought you were, or whether it's people seeing through your mask and realizing you're not as good of a person as they... Like, eventually people will see who you are if they're around you long enough. If you... Like, over time, whatever the surface image is will eventually come off. Sometimes it takes longer than we'd like it to, but it will eventually come off. So, Sumin... Eventually, everybody's going to gravitate towards Jiwon because eventually they will realize that she is a good, trustworthy person who will have their back, and you're a backstabbing leech. Like, that's just how it goes. Okay, so now we're putting pressure on her, too. We need to start pressuring Yura because Yura's got to feel the pinch. That's not because Jihyuk is a greenhouse flower. That's just because dandelions are pretty. Wildflowers are pretty. Nightshade is toxic. All three of these things can be found in the wild. None of them are sheltered greenhouse flowers. All of them come back. But you don't have to be a stinging nettle in order to survive. That's advice for you, Yura. Know how to give up something that is not yours.
근데 집에 전략 혼자가 드나들면 안 되잖아요.
And he's saying this in front of her and in front of his grandpa. He's thank you for putting your foot down. No, I've never liked you, Yura. You were only ever a business arrangement. She comes in looking like a queen. That's what he wanted. He wanted somebody who will fight for that position. Kang Ji-won is showing that she will fight. Mind you, she's fighting for the person and not the position, but at the end of the day, it's all the same to the ground. That's the problem with Yura, is that Yura thinks of it all in winning and losing. She doesn't actually even care about anybody else. It was oddly easy to have the assistant flip. I'm very concerned about that. No. No.
진짜 너무 많이 모자라더라고요.
He's like, wait, what are you saying about my grandfather? You spoiled him. She's got to address the 80 billion he gave her. He's like, yeah, I gave him hell for giving me that. Yeah.
어리광 부리는 그런 모습 보면서
The fact that you see all of the sides to him.
같이 잘할 수 있겠다 생각 들었어요.
It's like, I like him because he is flawed. I like him because he is human. He's not this perfect, unreachable image. You love your grandson. Do you really want him to be with somebody who will only ever see him as some toy that she doesn't want taken away? I know his grandfather's got the business mindset going on, but like, there's got to be a line you don't cross. And also, he's got to appreciate the fact that it's time to step down and be like, no, sir, no. But I will acknowledge that that was something that happened that should not have happened. I don't know that I'd like to live, like, that's a glass house. Like, unless I could instantly turn it off to shut everything out, like, I'd feel like I was being watched at all times. Oh, is this Eunho's work? Is this Eunho's work? He's adorable. Smile at the thought of Haeyeon, and then that'll be a good picture. Yes! We gonna sail the ship! We gonna sail the ship! Yes, we're gonna sail the ship.
유희연 씨랑
유지혁 씨가 안 보이네. 이렇게?
He paying attention. He paying attention. He's like, Haeyeon wasn't there? I would have smiled easier at the camera if Haeyeon had been there. Yes, sail the ship. I can stare down too. Stare down? I can't. I'll break.
바로 인정이 안 됐겠지.
Does she not even know that Minyoung attacked?
결혼한 남자한테 꼬리를 치고
지원?
그래? 빨리 처리해 주세요.
Nice. We're calling security on you.
것 같은 사람이면
This is the other thing I talked about earlier. Like, if you are stealing somebody from somebody else, if you successfully get that person, that means they're willing to cheat.
가만 안 둬.
And the fact that you think that they won't cheat on you is just like, you're delulu.
가서
Stop suspecting me of being a good wife. Your husband's fired. He ain't even here.
너나 박민영 같은 쓰레기를 탐내지. 내가 왜 탐내겠어?
It was like, I'm actually insulted that you think I would steal him. Like, why would I want that?
잘못 보냈네. 미안.
Okay, so that is Sui's phone. She's solidifying the craziness. Because she couldn't send that to Minyoung, because Minyoung would be like, he would instantly know that something was up. This is the room where all of the evil masterminding happens. I think they've actually used this room like 3 times in the entire drama. How much time we got left of this? We've got 25 minutes left in this episode. They've got one more episode, and then everything's gonna be done. So we really are like moving on the end game right now. I still hate that wall. It looks like somebody damaged it and put patch job paint over it. Oh, that look. He's calculating. She probably likes him because he's the only one that knows his place.
만 받을 수 있는 건데.
That's $500,000. There's a reason why life insurance should be tied to a person's wage, and I know that sounds horrible because it makes it sound like, oh, a person should only be worth like what their earning income is, but it discourages things like this. Like, if what you get from somebody dying is the same as what you would get from them living, there's no incentive for wanting them to die early. If you can get more from them being dead than you can from them being alive, all of a sudden there's a lot of incentive for these accidents to happen. Okay, so there's actually a legitimate like concern for people's safety reason why life insurance policies should be limited to earning power of that individual. It's specifically so that there's no incentive for a desperate or a greedy person to cash out on it intentionally. I don't know what the actual rules are, but from my perspective, if we're concerned about people's lives, we should make it so that there's no actual incentive. If you think this is going to go down, I understand you want to micromanage it to make sure that nothing goes wrong, but you should not be at this scene. You need to not be at this scene. You need to not be in the vicinity of this. I know you're both concerned. You need to not be present in the building when this happens. You need airtight alibis elsewhere. Oh my gosh, y'all, get out, go somewhere. Get yourself on camera elsewhere while this is happening. You need to be with a time-stamped security camera far away from this event. When it comes to death, they do ranges. It's never they died at specifically this minute. It's always a range. So if you were there within a half an hour of the estimated death time, they will presume that they could have been off by roughly a half. It is possible for them to be off. Okay, so if they're still on camera in the building, even like a half an hour before she actually gets killed, unless they can time it exactly, which is very difficult to do, like, which they could do. They have enough security cameras to show when she went into the room, so they could show that it had to happen after that point. But in general, you need your alibis elsewhere. You need to get out of the building. Oh, is Sumi gonna die this episode?
부사장님.
The assistant keeps wanting her to be less evil. I do wonder why he's still around, because he keeps on seeming increasingly more like, really, you're gonna do this? Really, you're gonna do this? Like, Why is he... Does he not... Is he afraid of leaving? I mean, I can't blame him for being afraid of leaving. If she's this willing to, like, kill anybody that she no longer needs, and he has too much information about what she's done, he would not be safe. His life would be forfeit the moment that he left. And he knows it. But he looks so uncomfortable. I'm surprised no threats have come his way, because Yura's got to know that he's not okay with this. Oh, did he just, like, spill water? So she slipped. Okay, well, now we don't have to worry about their alibis in the hotel because he's killing her elsewhere. This is where you say, I put it on a timed disclosure that I have to check 3 times a day or it goes out to the mass media. That's how you do things like this. You have to have it somewhere where you have to put in a password to prevent it from being sent on a regular basis in multiple areas. Part of me is like really happy that Sumin's getting all of her comeuppance at once and she kind of deserves to go through this, but I'm a little upset because, well, no, she actually tried to kill Jiwon in this life. She really did, so it's okay, but I mean, I really wish that at some point before their end, all of the information of all the bad things they did in the previous version of reality got downloaded in their brain. He gone off the deep end psycho too. This is what happens when you hang around with too many psycho people. You've been hanging around with too many people who think it's okay to kill other people, and now he's just the same way. Okay. I mean, he was that way before, but never to this level. What is this location? I'm here for it. This is okay. No matter which way this goes, this is okay. Except for if she wins this fight, she will get away with it because this is self-defense. What are the candies? We need the candies, remember? We need the candies and she can slip on it and smack her head and it's all gonna be good. Right, and the coroner's not gonna have any questions about all of the bruises on her body or the rope marks from when you restrained her. Yes! I'm sorry, but like every injury to both sides just makes me a little happy. Wow. I don't, this scene should not make me this happy. Oh, I'm sorry, that's just... The only problem is because it went this way, I don't know that Simon would be arrested for this. Because this was self-defense. Like, at the end of the day, I think you get a pass on this if the guy was, like, trying to kill you with carbon monoxide poisoning. And she did try, like, she called the police. She's got all the evidence there. She's got all the bruises. This was self-defense. Because the fate no longer needs to go to Minyoung, so now there's no reason for fate to interfere. I hate to side with Sumin, but this was self-defense at this point. They need to get Sumin for the other attempted murder, which was the one against Jiwon. They also need to get Yura. Yura needs to be gotten. But his mom's not there. It's really weird. Where's his mom? Well, you raised your son to be a monster. I'm sorry, but you raised your son to be a monster. And it wasn't even like it was an accident. Like, because there are sometimes parents do their best and kids just turn out badly. She condoned every bad thing her son ever did. Okay, we've taken care of a couple of things. We just need to make sure there's no after effects. It's gonna be okay. So we're still gonna get her arrested for attempted murder. She's just going after different people. You have good reason. You have 2 psychopaths going after you now. The only thing they have going on their side is that Yura and Sumin are not on the same team. Yura and Sumin are direct competitors, so maybe they can get them to take each other out? Okay. Well, we've gotten rid of Minwon. I really did not expect it to go that way. I really thought we were going to set up Sumin. It's interesting that they're going after her because this was genuine self-defense, and she had a lot of evidence. Like, the ropes were still there. She's got the ropes there, she's got the bruises there. All she has to tell them is, like, he told me he was gonna have me die of carbon monoxide asphyxiation. They can go down to the basement, they can see that the line's been cut. The box cutters that cut the line only have his fingerprints on them. Like, they actually, she had substantial evidence to show that it was self-defense. Substantial evidence to show that it was self-defense. So the fact that she chose to run is interesting, because I think in reality, she would not be charged for this. Especially since the way that he died was him falling backwards on the table, so she didn't even use the knife on him. She pushed him away from her, and he happened to land on the table in a situation where her life was in danger. I'm just saying that I think was actually clear-cut self-defense. But, you know, whatever. Drama world, we're still gonna go after it. She does still have other attempted murders on her conscience, just none that the police know about. But she's about to have more because clearly she's still thinking about going after these two. We've only got one episode left to get her behind bars and Yoda behind bars, and that'll be the 2 arrests that should have happened at the previous, in the previous lifetime. Because, you know, remember, Minyoung got arrested and Sumin got arrested. Minwon's gone now, so it's got to be Sumin getting arrested and Yoda getting arrested. We also only have one more episode left for all of the ships to sail. And we've got a lot of things to do, and we don't really have a lot of time to dedicate to ships. Usually, I usually expect that the last episode is like at least 75% falling action and just conclusions and all the happiness afterwards. We still have a lot of work to do. It's like, I almost feel bad for the mom a little bit, but she did raise a monster and she did condone him behaving as a monster, and she did justify she literally rewarded him for every bad behavior he did. She is complicit in the making of who he turned into. Therefore, I feel substantially less pity about what she's dealing with now, because this is a result of her turning him into what he was. I'm sorry, but I can't. There are some times I feel bad for the parent, but in this case, like, she was complicit in what he became. I think Grandpa's on our side. I think Jiwon handled that situation perfectly. She's like, so you know. Like, when it came to the 80 million, he's like, you got 80 billion out of him. You should be happy with that and know to step back. And she's like, yeah, I gave him hell for giving me that. It's not why I like him. I think the grandpa's on our side now. I think. We have to find out what's going with Haeyeon. Haeyeon was missing from work. We haven't seen Haeyeon this episode. I was distinctly missing the bubbliness. There's too many bad things going on in the world. We need more bubbly Haeyeon. And then the fact that we had the situation happen with Minyoung, and that we had Jiwon in the hospital from being strangled, and Haeyeon was not there. Like, that's almost shocking. It actually kind of makes me wonder if, like, something happened with the actress during the filming of this and she just wasn't available while they were filming and they just had to do some rewrites, because it's really odd that her character would just be absent for that. Conspicuously absent. Yoda wouldn't have done anything to Haeyeon, right? Yoda would have no reason to do anything to Haeyeon. Yoda better not have touched Haeyeon. Because I will be very upset if anything has happened to Haeyeon. I'm just saying. Like, there's no logical reason for that except for to put pressure on Zihyuk. But she seems, well, I mean, she's got to know that Haeyeon's not on her side, but they would have at least hinted at it if something like that was happening, right? And are the parents actually dead? It seems odd to me that they would know that that was a thing that was going to happen and they would actually just allow that to happen. Like, letting her mother die seems a step beyond what Jiwon would be okay with, no matter how much she hates her mom. And no matter how justified that is, I can't see her just, like, allowing her to get murdered. Although, to be fair, her mom and Sumin's dad did, like, literally plan her death. I don't understand this whole family willing to hurt other family thing. Is this something that, like, I know there's actual families that are like that, but it, like, doesn't compute in my brain why you would be willing to hurt your family. Why are people ever, like, I don't know. I'm not going to talk too much longer. I kind of just want to see how the last episode plays out, because we've gone from, and I've mentioned this previously, we've gone from, oh my gosh, how the heck are we going to fill up 4 episodes, to, oh my gosh, how are we going to wrap this up in 1 episode? This is a 16 episode. I'm not confused about that, right? It's only 16 episodes long. I'm not crazy. It's only 16 episodes long. There's a lot left. Okay, so we'll be back next time for that. I forgot to mention at the beginning, this is currently on Amazon Prime. If you're 15 episodes into it, you know where to find it, okay? So, but that's gonna be it for today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to go check out the Patreon. We put out the complete uncut reaction over there. You just have to sync it up with your own copy. We also put things out up to 3 weeks early, and we have some extra behind-the-scene content that we'll do over there as well, with other things like my language learning journey and me trying to learn how to cook Korean food. Mixed success. Or you could just join the polls over there, or you could just hang out here with me on YouTube, whatever floats your boat. But anyway, I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Annyeong.